Hey everybody, I am here today with Director of Aquatics and Head Swim Coach Peter Verhoef, and we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming summer plans for summer camp, as well as looking ahead to the next Olympic cycle. So welcome.
Thank
Excited
you.
to have you here.
Awesome. No, it's great. Summer camp is it's rapidly approaching, so we're I think 2 weeks away. So we've always the traditional bowl summer camp has had swimmers from all over the world come and be a part of our campus, and we stay in the dorms. They eat dorm food. They come down to swim with our team. They do that kind of thing, and we're going to start right after graduation. So basically, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, we have a couple students moving in. And we have some of the students that are enrolling next year. They're going to come join us for camp, so they get a feel to kind of get our coaches and our team kind of squared away. And then probably that next Sunday, I think we have about 60 or so. So each week it'll be about 60 to 80 boarders will come in and stay with us through the month of June. And for us, it's really busy, but it's really awesome. It gives us a chance to kind of showcase bowls. And we usually have about 2 or 3 people that enroll at bowls from our swim camp, so it's a really awesome opportunity for us to kind of show the world what we can do in a really small amount of time. The kids have a blast. We do a lot of fun stuff. We go to the beach. We go to jumbo shrimp games. They're swimming 2 times a day. They're out on the fields working out. They're hanging out with each other. They make some lifelong friends. And we've had, gosh, I can think of probably 3 off the top of my head. I know of 3 NCAA finalists this year that have been in our swim camp in the last 3 years since I've been here. Yeah, so it's not a just show up if you want to swim for fun. There's some people that are really serious about their swimming. They use this as a way to elevate their program and their swimming experience, and so it adds a lot to us. It challenges us as a coaching staff because we get a chance to, when you have somebody come in for a week or 4 weeks and you want to give them everything that you know. It makes you really, really efficient. I'm sure teachers can relate, right? Like how do you get everything I want you to know in a week? And you get to do one-on-one lessons, and it really, for us as a staff, it really sharpens us up. It can be really tough. It's tiring, but at the same time, we usually feel a lot of, it's really rewarding. And I think to see what it does for our school down the line is really, really important. So we're excited about it.
Cool.
But if you're around in the month of June, there will be somebody in that pool. I think we put about 900 people a day through our pools in the summer. Between our day camp, our swim team, and our camp, it's busy.
That's
so if
awesome.
you want to come on over and say, hey, we're usually hanging
I
out
will.
at the pool.
It's usually a good time to get
Yeah.
in the water.
Yes.
Best part of the day. Tell me a little bit about the upcoming Olympic cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting you bring. So we are approaching 23-24 is a school year, but 2024 is an Olympic year. So
Right.
Paris 2024 will be the Summer Olympic Games, and in our swimming world, we plan everything around, we call it quad cycle.
Okay.
So a 4-year cycle. Now this is a little bit different quad cycle because if you remember, the Tokyo Olympics were pushed back 1 year.
Right.
So we actually had a 3-year quad cycle, which had a lot of trickle down effects. And what people don't understand is even your local swim meets, the little mom and pop stuff we do around here all the time, all of that kind of gets put into a schedule around some of the bigger international competitions, which funnel down to your national competitions, which go to your regional competitions, and on down the line. So for 3 years now, we've really been kind of scrambling, I would say, since the pandemic to adjust from that little change. And so what we're really looking forward to is this last year of this quad cycle to kind of finish this one really strong and then have another 4 years ahead. So we will sit down as a coaching staff and we'll actually try to map out that 4-year cycle, not too detailed, but
Sure.
pretty close, where we want to be, where we need to take athletes, what kind of competitions do we need to be in, where is it important to do an international trip, when is it important to do a swim camp, when is it important to do different developmental things in the water, so that we stack it up and we get to, ideally we have maybe some 6th graders right now. They're going to be looking at that next cycle of saying, hey, they're going to be maybe on the edge of making a U.S. Olympic trial cut. And so we're looking all the way back, and we literally have a roster of those names in our office, and we'll say, okay, what do we have to do with these students to kind of get them all the way through 5 years from now? So a lot of our planning goes around that Olympic cycle, and for us, the Olympic year is awesome. And I would say, I believe as a coach, the Olympics are the most exciting and inspirational event we have in our sport. And if we get an opportunity to have a little swimmer, let's say an 8-year-old, that goes home and they get to watch the Olympic Games and they make that connection. They're still not at the point where maybe they don't see all the pieces between there, but that moment of inspiration is so key because that's what's going to get them into the water. It's going to get them to the pool. It's going to get them chasing a dream. And so we really, really, really try to make as many of those connections throughout the next year as possible. So if we have a swimmer going to the Olympics or going to Olympic trials or internationally representing the country, we'll try to get them to interact with the rest of our team a little bit, and try to do those things and make sure we promote that so that we all see it. But I think it's such an important year for inspiration beyond just the people performing.
Sure.
It kind of sustains that next cycle, right? Because it gives somebody a goal to shoot for. And you talk about goal setting, and you really want to have kind of a dream goal out there. It's the one that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Nobody gets out of bed in the morning to swim 6,000 yards. Like, that's not exciting. Nobody wants to do that, right? Now they get out of bed because they want to go to the Olympics,
right.
And oh, by the way, I have to do this in order to go there. So being able to kind of put that goal into perspective for people, even young student athletes, is really important. It's a great. It's always around that Olympic cycle. We'll see a huge bump in enrollment in the swim programs right after the Olympics. The greatest person in our sport, Michael Phelps, caused these huge waves of enrollment right after. Every time he swam in the Olympics, there was these massive, everybody showing up, they had the Phelps cap on, they were ready to go. So there's something to that. And I think we're excited for that coming up this year. It'll be something we're looking forward to, something we want to tie into what we're doing with the whole school. And we have a plan for our student athletes that are here. We have a few that are on that track to perform at that level, and we have some that are coming in that we want to help get there. And then we want to have all of that trickle down to our little Mako Tiger Sharks that we have in the pool every day.
Yeah, I mean, I got to compliment you and your staff. One of the things you guys do really well is you make it a family atmosphere. Yeah. Everyone from the potential Olympian down to the little Mako, and so building that excitement. There is nothing like watching the swimming Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
if you're a Hodges employee,
yes,
I mean, it's a different world.
Well, we've had so many. I mean, 67 or whatever it is on our wall, and hopefully adding more. But I mean, we're looking forward. Brian Murphy's still training, still top of his game. He's competing really, really well throughout this year. I know he's looking forward to Paris Olympics. Caleb from our late night program is back in the water and racing again. He's looking forward to that. Just being in touch with some of our more recent alumni that are starting to put themselves in contention for their national teams. Some of our seniors a couple of years ago, hoping to see their names kind of pop up this year, and it'll be exciting for us as a staff to kind of watch that and have that support.
No, I mean, everyone knows the effort, mental, physical effort that goes into preparing for even an attempt to make an Olympic team, let alone compete at that level.
Oh gosh.
And I think that what people often forget it's all the hard work that the coaches do behind the scenes.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's really important, and I see it every day when you guys are out on the pool deck. There are so many little incremental steps. And people don't realize that if you're missing some of those, then you're going to be off track at your eventual goal. And you guys do a great job of keeping them focused, keeping them energized. It's hard.
No, thank you for that. I appreciate the recognition. I mean, when I show up every day, I think the battle in my head is, how do I get a kid to recognize the very next step in the process? Maybe they set that goal out here, but what is the very next step they have to do right now today, and how do they have fun doing it? Because you have to do both. We can't be robots, and we're just not going to do that. And we also just can't have fun, and we miss that step, right? We have to do both. And so, how do we walk that line every single day? And so, some days it's different music, which you hear walking by the pool most times. It depends on if Coach Jake's on DJ or not. That's usually the good days, but. It can be anything from music to the way we design a practice, to bringing a friend in one day knowing that tomorrow we're going to do a really, really hard practice, all the way down to that goal meeting with the athlete. But it's about a process, and every Olympian has taken countless steps. And I'm not talking about, hey, I came in one day and I worked on this, because swimming is one where you have to come in, you have to work on it, you have to repeat it, you have to repeat it under stress, you have to repeat it in competition, and every little movement. That's why watching like Ryan Murphy is amazing to me, because you're seeing decades of honing his craft, and if you talk to him, he's a master of his craft, his races, his strokes, how he trains. I mean, he is truly a master of what he's doing, and so you're seeing this very finished product. And where we are is we're trying to set them up by teaching them what that next step is, and then how to make sure they're having fun, how to make sure they have that goal out in front. Because the last thing is, I want it to be their process, right? It's their journey and their step to take. But it's really, you're right. It's all about that next step every single day.
Yeah, no, and that's applicable to everything that we do. That's a life
100%,
skill.
100%.
Whether you're studying history, you're swimming, or you're dancing in the play. That's really important. So thanks. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all that you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody out there for all that you do.
All right. Happy summer.